After that, we have a really good middleweight fight. We have Sam Alvey and Julian Marquez. Sam Alvey has not really been doing too good. 33 wins, 14 losses, and 1 draw. He's currently 35 years old, pretty much 6 foot 2 inches tall. Has a reach advantage at 76 inches. Julian Marquez a little bit younger, in the prime of his MMA career at 30, almost 31 years old, 6 foot 2 inches tall, a little bit smaller reach than Sam Alvey in the fight at 72 inches. They both have a lot of power in their hands. Guess what, guys? Sam Alvey has 20 KO TKO wins in his entire MMA career. 20 KO TKO wins, 3 submission wins, and 11 decision wins. Julian Marquez has finished every single one of his fights, 8 wins and 2 losses, 5 KO TKO wins, 3 submission wins. Out of his losses, both coming by decision. He's never been finished in his professional MMA career. Sam Alvey, 33 wins, 14 losses, and 1 draw. If you look at his losses, let's see right here, 11 losses by decision, 3 losses by knockout, and 1 loss by submission. That is the main reason I'm gonna say that this fight is gonna go all the way, because Julian Marquez has never been finished in his professional MMA career, and then Sam Alvey has only been finished by KO TKO only 3 times in his MMA career. So I think this fight is most likely gonna go all the way, and either Sam Alvey or Julian Marquez is gonna win the fight by unanimous decision. But as you guys know, Sam Alvey has not been doing good recently. A draw with Dong Jung, a split decision loss against Ryan Spann. He lost against Clinton Abreu, Jimmy Crew, Antonio Rosario Nogueira. Beat not really too good fighters in the middleweight and light heavyweight division in Marcin Prachnio and John Vellante. Lost to Ramazan Ameev, Tyler Latis. I mean, none of this really matters, so we're kind of just focusing on this fight with Julian Marquez and Sam Alvey. We don't really need to look at those past fights in Sam Alvey's career, because all we really know is this fight is gonna stay on the feet. Julian Marquez and Sam Alvey are gonna want to keep the fight on the feet and try to get a knockout in the first or second round, but I don't think either fighter is gonna get a knockout. Both fighters have pretty good chins in their arsenal. Sam Alvey only getting knocked out 3 times in his professional career. Julian Marquez never being knocked out. That is really good chin from Julian Marquez in most of his fights. But I think this fight's going to be really interesting, because Julian Marquez, in those later rounds, does not really have too good cardio. He still has a lot of heart. We saw in the last fight with Mike Patolo, he was definitely losing the fight, but came back in the 3rd round, and he rallied to get a really good knockdown, get the fight down, and get that Anaconda choke submission, I believe, with really like 45 seconds left in the fight. Really amazing comeback victory there for Julian Marquez in the fight. But Sam Alvey has really good striking, has a lot of knockout power in his fights, 20 KO TKO wins. I think this fight is going to stay on the feet. I think Sam Alvey could potentially win the fight by 29-28 unanimous decision. Julian Marquez can also win the fight by 29-28 unanimous decision. I think the fight in the striking game is going to be really close. I think Sam Alvey is a lot slower of a striker. Julian Marquez lands a little bit faster than Sam Alvey does in most of his fights. I think Sam Alvey has more of an opportunity to get a KO, to get a TKO in the fight, but Julian Marquez has more of an opportunity to land those faster strikes, to land more strikes than Sam Alvey. I think either way, this fight goes, I think Julian Marquez will win by decision, or Sam Alvey will win the fight by first or second round knockout. But because Julian Marquez is a much faster striker than Sam Alvey in the fight, I think he will win the first and second round. Kind of gas out in the 3rd round. Sam Alvey will come back, landing a lot of good shots on Julian Marquez in the 3rd round. But overall, I think Julian Marquez will hang on in the 3rd round, make the fight go all the way, and I think Julian Marquez will win the first and second round to ultimately win the fight by 29-28 unanimous decision in a really close middleweight fight right here. Again, this fight is a really close fight. Do not count out Sam Alvey, because he has a lot of power in his hands. Even being 35 years old right now, has a lot of power in his hands still, even though he's on a 4-fight losing streak with a draw to Dong Jung. Never can't count out Sam Alvey in the fight, but I'm going with Julian Marquez to win the fight by 29-28 unanimous decision.